My Jewishness, if I may claim it that way, for I consider myself a much better and truer Jew than those who are supporting militant Zionist Israelis to kill in the face of thou shalt not kill. Every moment and ounce of energy must go to help the victims of Jewish nationalism, insane Jewish nationalism, so archaic, so outdated, so un-Jewish, if I may say so. The legacy inherited from my grandfather remained with me all through my own life. And it is from the Jewish, strictly Jewish, genuine Jewish, ethical and universal Judaism that I inherited from my grandfather that made me, after a lifetime of observing the issues of justice and injustice, of international warfare, of the great problem and issue between the Jews in Palestine or in Israel today and the Arabs of Palestine who are no more in their own homes and homeland. It is that ethical approach that has influenced me not only in my personal life as far as I could help it, to be ethical and humane and fair and repent as my grandfather repented, not only before Yom Kippur, to be a good Jew, quote unquote, but really as a human being practicing humanity, practicing decency, practicing morality. These are the things that have decided for me since the Arab-Israeli wars to take a stand alongside of the victims of Jewish nationalism, which in my judgment means the giving up of old prophetic Judaism, genuine, ethical, humane Judaism, in favor of political nationalism, such as the Jews in their desperation at the end of the 19th century have converted their old Judaism into political nationalism to emulate the example set by the governments of England, France, Italy, and the latecomer Germany, depraved and predatory political nationalism, which used the youth of their nations as cannon fodder to conquer the lands of other countries, to exploit the populations that were conquered for their own personal profit and economic advantage. And since those days, while Western Europe had to learn the lesson the hard way and begin to discard political nationalism as a philosophy of life, as an end in itself, as an ideal to foster in the youth of their country. They are beginning since those days, and they paid such a terrible price to learn that lesson. Since those days, the ecumenical era came on humanity. Religion stopped fighting and despising one another. Nationalism began to make room for internationalism, and the individual, justice for the individual, the right for happiness in life, fellowship and mutual aid are taking the place all over the world as it realizes the harm, the immorality done by political nationalism, But alas, as far as I am concerned, with the Jewish people, they are today the victims of political nationalism that still preaches predatory and depraved nationalism, conquest of territory of others. Territorial conquest have become the purpose in life, the end of life, the thing worthwhile dying for. We must now, as soon as possible, start to dwell on the original sin, the original crime, that dangerous cult of Jewish political nationalism that grew out of the 19th century and early 20th century, depraved and predatory colonialism and imperialism and German Nazism, and that resulted in a political Zionism that still is today the same as it was before, and still wants what it wanted in 1897, a greater Eretz Israel empire at the expense of the indigenous, innocent Arab population of the Middle East.
At this point, we leave Moshe Menuhin in the study of his home in Los Gatos, California. This is Colin Edwards.